Val Kilmer, the iconic actor known for his roles in Top Gun and Batman Forever, has left fans saddened by the disturbing details found in his autopsy report, shedding light on the troubling health issues. But what shocking revelations has the autopsy report uncovered? And what impact will these findings have on his legacy? Join us to explore this. Val Kilmer's silent battle. In 2014, Val Kilmer faced one of the hardest moments of his life. He was well known for his powerful voice and unforgettable roles, but suddenly he had to cancel a show he loved, Citizen Twain, because he lost his voice. Val had noticed a lump in his throat, but, like many people, he ignored it. Then, one night, everything changed. He woke up and started throwing up blood. That moment was terrifying. Val quickly called for help, knowing something was very wrong. By January 2015, Val was in the hospital, going through many tests. His representatives said they were checking for a lump, but soon the news came. Val Kilmer had throat cancer. This was the beginning of a long and painful battle. He had to go through chemotherapy and radiation, and doctors performed a tracheotomy, a surgery that changed how he spoke and breathed forever. At times, things looked very dark, and his family feared the worst. Val was a lifelong Christian Scientist, a faith that usually avoids medical treatments. But for his children, he made a brave choice. He agreed to chemotherapy. He believed strongly in prayer and healing, but he also knew how much his family needed him to fight. In 2020, Val's biography revealed he had been cancer-free for over 4 years. He said the journey was painful, but he never lost faith or hope. During his illness, rumors about Val's health spread quickly. At first, he denied having cancer. He called it just a suggestion of throat cancer, because he didn't want to be remembered only for his sickness. Val wanted people to focus on his talent, his heart, and the love he had for acting. But as time passed, he openly shared that this fight was one of the hardest things he had ever faced. By 2017, the public learned that Val had battled throat cancer twice. The surgery on his trachea left his once strong and clear voice as a soft whisper. He needed an electronic voice box to speak and often struggled with shortness of breath. Though he was cancer-free by 2020, he still needed medical care and used a feeding tube. Sadly, on April 1, 2025, Val Kilmer passed away in Los Angeles at the age of 65. The cause was pneumonia, but his health had been fragile for years. His death certificate showed many serious problems: breathing failure, skin cancer on his tongue, malnutrition, and complications from his tracheotomy. He was cremated on April 7th, and his family and fans mourned the loss of a man who fought so bravely until the end. Val's passing left many people heartbroken, including filmmaker Michael Mann, who spoke about Val's amazing talent and ability to adapt. Even in his final days, through pain and sickness, Val never lost his spirit. His story is one of quiet strength, deep faith, and the powerful love of a father who held on for his family for as long as he could. Val Kilmer's fight was not just about surviving cancer. It was about courage, hope, and the determination to keep going no matter how hard things got. He showed the world that even when life is tough, love and faith can give us the strength to carry on. Let's dive back a little to where it all started. Val Kilmer's early days. Val Edward Kilmer was born on a very special day, December 31st, 1959, in Los Angeles, California. It was New Year's Eve, a time when people celebrate new beginnings. For the Kilmer family, this day marked the arrival of their youngest son. Val was one of 3 boys born to Gladys Swanette and Eugene Doris Kilmer. His mother had Swedish roots, while his father's family came from Irish, German, and Cherokee backgrounds. Val's childhood was full of love, but life wasn't always easy. When he was just 8 years old, his parents separated. It was a big change for a young boy, but Val stayed close to his brothers and found comfort in his family and faith. His mother later remarried a man named William Bernard Leach. Even as his family shifted and changed, Val kept his faith strong. He was raised as a Christian Scientist, a religion that would guide him through many challenges in life. Tragedy touched the family again in 1977. Val's younger brother, Wesley, who had epilepsy, passed away in a swimming accident at just 16 years old. It was a heartbreaking loss that left a deep mark on Val and his family. This pain stayed with him, but also made him stronger. As a teenager, Val went to Chatsworth High School. There, he met some other young people who would later become famous, like Kevin Spacey and Mare Winningham. Val even dated Mare for a while. It was clear early on that Val had a special gift for acting. His love for the craft grew stronger every day. Val's hard work and talent earned him a place at the famous Juilliard School in New York City. He was the youngest person ever admitted to the drama division at the time, joining Group 10. For Val, this was a proud moment. A boy from Los Angeles was stepping onto a much bigger stage, chasing his dreams with hope and determination. From stage to stardom. Val Kilmer's career didn't start with a big bang, but it quickly grew into something special. Even when movies came calling, Kilmer stayed true to his first love, acting on stage. In 1983, he was offered a part in the movie The Outsiders, directed by Francis Ford Coppola. But Kilmer said no because he wanted to finish his theater work. That same year, he performed off-Broadway in a play called The Slab Boys, sharing the stage with other future stars like Kevin Bacon, Sean Penn, and Jackie Earle Haley. Kilmer wasn't just an actor, he also liked writing. In 1983, he published a small book of poems called My Edens After Burns. It showed his thoughts and feelings at the time. Though not many people knew about the book then, it later became something special for collectors, with copies selling for high prices. His first real acting job on TV was in an ABC after-school special called One Too Many. It was filmed in 1983 but aired in 1985. The show talked about serious topics like drinking and driving, and Kilmer shared the screen with a young Michelle Pfeiffer. His part was small, but it was an important start. Val's big break came when he starred in Top Secret, a funny movie that made fun of spy films. He played an American rock and roll singer caught in wild adventures overseas. Kilmer didn't just act, he sang all the songs himself. A music album was even released under his character's name, Nick Rivers, showing off Kilmer's singing talent. After a short trip across Europe, Kilmer came back to Hollywood and starred in Real Genius, a comedy about smart students at a science school. Around this time, he was offered a role in the strange movie Blue Velvet by David Lynch, but chose not to take it. Then came 1986 and Top Gun, where Kilmer played Iceman, a confident and cool pilot next to Tom Cruise. The movie was a huge success, making over $344 million worldwide. Kilmer's role became one of the most remembered parts of the film. He kept working hard, starring in TV movies before landing a role in Willow, a fantasy film directed by Ron Howard. It was on this movie set that he met actress Joanne Whalley, who later became his wife. Kilmer also loved theater and acted in Hamlet at the Colorado Shakespeare Festival in 1988. The late 1980s and early 1990s were busy years. Kilmer starred in films like Kill Me Again, Billy the Kid, and The Murders in the Rue Morgue. One of his most famous roles came when he played rock star Jim Morrison in The Doors, directed by Oliver Stone. Kilmer worked hard for this part. He learned all the songs and even recorded them himself. He spent time at Morrison's old hangouts and copied his style. The band members said Kilmer captured Morrison's spirit perfectly. Val showed he could play many kinds of roles. He starred in Thunderheart, The Real McCoy, and made a small but memorable appearance as Elvis Presley in True Romance. In 1993, he gave a beloved performance as Doc Holliday in the Western Tombstone. Though he didn't know how to play piano, Kilmer practiced for months to make his music scenes look real. In 1995, Kilmer was in Bodies of Courage, an IMAX 3D film, and starred alongside famous actors Al Pacino and Robert De Niro in Heat, a crime movie that became a classic. His talent caught the eye of director Joel Schumacher. After seeing Tombstone, Schumacher thought Kilmer would be perfect to replace Michael Keaton as Batman in Batman Forever. Kilmer accepted the role even without reading the script or knowing much about the director. The movie was a hit and became one of Kilmer's most famous works. The early 2000s brought both highs and lows. In 2000, Kilmer starred in Red Planet, a big-budget movie that didn't do well. That same year, he played painter Willem de Kooning in Pollock and even hosted Saturday Night Live. In 2002, he starred in The Salton Sea, a crime thriller that critics loved but few people saw because it had a limited release. He also worked again with Christian Slater in the action film Hard Cash. Kilmer kept busy. In 2006, he reunited with director Tony Scott in Deja Vu, a suspense movie starring Denzel Washington. He also appeared on TV in Num 3 Rs in 2007, playing a torture expert. That year, Kilmer released a music CD to raise money for charity. In 2008, Kilmer starred in Felon alongside Stephen Dorff. He chose roles in both small independent movies and bigger films. Despite ups and downs in his career, Kilmer's love for acting never faded. Although he made a name in the world of Hollywood. All things have an end. What were his final starrings like? Let's dive in. Val Kilmer's final roles. Val Kilmer's career was full of unforgettable moments. Even as time passed and his health made things harder, his love for acting never went away. He kept surprising fans with new roles, showing courage and creativity every step of the way. One cool moment came when Kilmer took over the voice of Kit, the talking car, in the new Knight Rider show. He replaced Will Arnett because of scheduling problems. Kilmer gave the role his all, just like the original voice actor, William Daniels, who also stayed behind the scenes. In 2009, Kilmer stayed busy. He acted with Nicolas Cage in Bad Lieutenant, Port of Call, New Orleans, a dark crime movie full of intense scenes. That year, he also appeared with rapper-turned-actor Curtis 50 Cent Jackson in Streets of Blood. Kilmer even played the villain Mongoose in a TV show based on the popular video game 13, which aired on NBC. By 2010, Kilmer was trying new things. In the horror film The Traveler, he played a mysterious ghost looking for justice after a sad death. Around the same time, a dream came true. He finally worked with his longtime friend, famous director Francis Ford Coppola. They made a movie called Twixt on Coppola's own estate. This chance to work closely with someone he admired meant a lot to Kilmer. That year, Kilmer also showed his funny side as the over-the-top villain Dieter von Kuntz in the comedy MacGruber. He even appeared in a music video for Tenacious D's song To Be the Best. Outside movies, Kilmer gave a speech at William Woods University and performed his one-man play, Citizen Twain. The university honored him with a special degree for his creative work and contributions. In 2012, Kilmer got nominated for a Grammy in the spoken word category, another proud moment. He starred in a short film called The Lotus Community Workshop, playing a quirky version of himself as a sound healer. The film was part of a collection about different realities, showing Kilmer's love for unique roles. During this time, Kilmer worked on a special project about Mary Baker Eddy, founder of the Christian Science Church, and Mark Twain, one of her famous critics. This story was first a one-man play called Citizen Twain. In 2012, Kilmer turned it into a movie called Cinema Twain, marking his first time directing a film. In 2013, Kilmer reunited with his Top Gun co-star, Anthony Edwards, for the animated Disney movie Planes. Kilmer voiced the character Bravo, while Edwards was Echo, a fun moment for fans of their earlier work. Kilmer also appeared in the final episode of the TV show Psych, playing Detective Dobson. In 2017, Kilmer acted in Song to Song, a movie by famous director Terrence Malick, starring Rooney Mara and Ryan Gosling. That year, he also appeared in the thriller The Snowman. Though the movie had mixed reviews, it added to Kilmer's long list of roles. One very special moment came in 2020, when Kilmer acted alongside his son, Mercedes Kilmer, in the crime drama Pay Dirt. It was their first time sharing the screen together, making it a deeply meaningful experience. In 2022, fans were thrilled to see Kilmer back as Tom "Iceman" Kazansky in Top Gun: Maverick. Despite his health challenges, Kilmer returned to a role that helped make him famous years before. It was a wonderful chance to reconnect with the fans who loved him. In 2021, a heartfelt documentary called Val was released. It gave a close, honest look at Kilmer's life and career, including his brave fight against throat cancer and how it affected his voice. The film showed never-before-seen home videos and behind-the-scenes moments, letting fans see Kilmer's world through his own eyes. The movie won praise at the Cannes Film Festival and earned 2 Critics' Choice Documentary Awards. Because his voice was changed by illness, new technology helped Kilmer keep connecting with fans. In 2021, he teamed up with a London company called Sonantic to recreate his voice using artificial intelligence. They used many recordings to make a natural-sounding voice for him. But when filming Top Gun: Maverick, the director chose to use Kilmer's real voice, digitally cleaned up so fans could hear their hero's true sound. He, known for acting, still had a like outside of the movie scenes. But what was his love life like? Stick with us. The loves and heartaches. Val Kilmer's life wasn't just about bright lights, big movies, or Hollywood fame. Behind the scenes, his heart was full of love, pain, and memories that stayed with him forever. In the early 1980s, a young Val met the famous singer Cher at her 36th birthday party. Even though Val was just 23, they fell deeply in love. Cher later said he was unlike anyone she had ever known. Their love was strong and tender, but the years between them were too much to overcome. Even though Val decided to end their relationship, they stayed friends. Years later, when Val faced a tough battle with throat cancer, Cher was there, offering kindness and support when he needed it most. After Cher, Val kept their memories close. In the mid-1980s, he dated singer Carly Simon. He spoke warmly of her, calling her an angel. Their time together was short but sweet. Val also had a brief, fun romance with actress Ellen Barkin, a bright moment in a busy time. One of the most important parts of Val's life began in 1988 while filming Willow. He met British actress Joanne Whalley. They quickly fell in love and got married. They worked on several movies together, but life wasn't always easy. Rumors about Val's romances and Hollywood fame put pressure on their marriage. Still, they built a family and had 2 sons, Mercedes and Jack. Sadly, their marriage ended in 1995, but they stayed good friends and cared for their boys together. After the divorce, Val's name was linked to several famous women, including supermodel Cindy Crawford. But none of those relationships seemed to fill the space in his heart. In the early 2000s, Val found what he called one of the deepest loves of his life. While working on In God We Trust, he met actress Daryl Hannah. Val fell hard for her, loving her with all his heart. When they broke up, it was painful. He said he cried every day for 6 months. Even years later, he admitted he still loved her. The divorce from Joanne was tough on Val, both in feelings and money. He joked it was one of the most expensive divorces in New Mexico history, happening just after their second son was born. Rumors about his past romances followed him and made things harder. Though love seemed to slip away from him again and again, Val's love for his children never faded. His bond with Mercedes and Jack grew even stronger, especially during his fight with cancer. Mercedes has said she admired her father's courage and learned new lessons about life and acting by watching him face his challenges. In later years, Val became more open about his feelings of loneliness. In his biography, he said he hadn't been in a relationship for over 20 years. Even though people linked him to stars like Angelina Jolie, he never truly moved on from his heartbreak with Daryl Hannah. He wrote that he felt lonely almost every day. Still, he found comfort in the friendships he kept, especially with Cher, and in being a father. Val Kilmer's story shows us that even the biggest stars have struggles with love. It reminds us that love can be beautiful, but also hard and painful. Yet love shapes us and stays with us, no matter what. Legacy living through others. Val's son, Mercedes Kilmer, was born on October 29, 1991, in Santa Fe, New Mexico. From a young age, Mercedes showed signs she had inherited her father's creative spirit. In 2020, she starred in Pay Dirt, playing the on-screen daughter of her real-life father. This was a very special moment for both of them. When the movie's director talked to Val about the role, Val suggested Mercedes might be perfect for it. After meeting the director, she got the part. But this experience was more than just acting. It was a chance for father and daughter to share the screen and make something together. Mercedes also helped behind the scenes. In 2021, a documentary called Val came out, giving fans a close look at Val Kilmer's life, career, and personal struggles. The film was very emotional for Mercedes, who worked as an associate producer. Seeing her father's story shared with so many people touched her deeply. Even though she knew the man behind the public image, it was moving to watch others discover the kind, playful, and deeply creative person her father really was. Val's other son, Jack Kilmer, was born in June 1995. Sadly, just weeks after Jack was born, his parents' marriage ended. Despite the divorce, Jack followed in his parents' footsteps. Like his father, he loved acting and appeared in movies like Palo Alto, Extremely Wicked, Shockingly Evil and Vile, Josie, and Summer '03. But perhaps his most meaningful role was in Val, the documentary about his father's life. Because Val's voice was affected by radiation and chemotherapy during his fight with throat cancer, Jack stepped in to read his father's words. Jack said working on the film was a special experience. His goal was to sound natural and give voice to his father's story, words Val could no longer say out loud. It was a touching tribute, a son helping to tell the story of a man who inspired him in so many ways. Val's creativity went far beyond acting. He was also a passionate art collector with an eye for bold and unique pieces. For a time, he dreamed of opening an art museum on his New Mexico estate, a beautiful place where modern art could live in harmony with nature. One of the highlights of his collection was Maelstrom, a striking white sword sculpture by Roxy Payne, which had once been shown on the roof of the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. Though Val's plans for the museum were put on hold because of changing priorities and health issues, his love for art never faded. His collection included works by famous artists like Jean-Michel Basquiat and Andy Warhol. Val admired the raw emotion in Basquiat's paintings and the clever way Warhol showed pop culture and fame. But Val didn't just collect art, he helped other artists too. In Los Angeles, he started Hellmel Studios and Gallery, a space where new artists could come together, share ideas, and show their work. He also created a digital space called Camp Kilmer, where creative people could share their projects and ideas online. During his career, Val earned many awards and nominations for his work in film and beyond. From the late 1980s to the 2020s, his name appeared on many nomination lists. In 1989, he was nominated for Best Actor in a Movie or Mini-Series. Over the years, he earned nods from groups like the Chicago Film Critics Association, MTV Movie Awards, and Saturn Awards. Val was even nominated for Razzie Awards several times, but he took those with humor, showing that he never let reviews steal his joy for acting. He won several important awards, too. In 2003, he received a Prism Award for his role in a stage play. 2 years later, he won a Satellite Award for Outstanding Supporting Actor in a Comedy or Musical. His work continued to be recognized. In 2017, he was honored with the Time Machine Honorary Award. And in 2021, the documentary Val won the Critics' Choice Documentary Award for Most Compelling Living Subject and Best Story. Even as recently as 2023 and 2024, Val stayed in the spotlight with nominations for the Redeemer Award and the Family Film Award for Best Iconic Movie. These honors stand as proof of the lasting impact he made on the world of entertainment. You might have seen Val as Tom Kanaski in Top Gun, but many others know the true him. Let's dive into the part of the legend revealed to different people. The man of many faces. Val Kilmer was a man who made people feel strong emotions. Some found him difficult, while others saw him as kind and caring. Over the years, stories about Val have painted a picture of a complicated, sometimes tough but deeply talented actor who left a lasting impression on everyone around him. Some say Val could be hard to work with. On the set of The Island of Dr. Moreau, his relationship with co-star Marlon Brando was tense. The first director, Richard Stanley, only worked with Val for a few days before he was replaced. Stanley later said Val often came to work ready to argue. When John Frankenheimer took over as director, he said he didn't like Val's work habits and never wanted to work with him again. Joel Schumacher, who directed Batman Forever, once described Val as difficult and impossible. Even Michael Biehn, who acted alongside Val in Tombstone, said he never really got to know him personally, even though they shared scenes. But not everyone saw him that way. Mira Sorvino, who starred with Val in At First Sight, said he was easy to work with and professional. She refused to believe the rumors that might hurt someone's career and said her experience with Val was only good. Kurt Russell, his co-star in Tombstone, said working with Val was great and full of respect. Drew Barrymore, who acted with him in Batman Forever, remembered Val as kind and caring. She said he made her feel safe during filming, which was very important for a young actor. Hilary Burton, who worked with Val in Bloodworth, shared a touching story about his kindness. He cut a love scene between them because it didn't help the story or their characters. Instead, they shared a simple moment, enjoying barbecue ribs. She felt protected and safe around Val. That day on set changed how she thought about acting. She also admired Val as an artist and even bought some of his paintings. For her, working with Val was a magical experience, and she hoped every young actor could have someone like him to guide them. David Thewlis, another Island of Dr. Moreau co-star, said, "Filming with Val was one of the strangest and most delicate experiences of his life. Even with the difficulties, he looked back on it as a unique and unforgettable story they shared." Val himself sent a final message to David, calling their time together unbelievable. Many directors and fellow actors spoke highly of Val's talent and personality. Francis Ford Coppola called him a joy to work with and remembered their time fondly. Tom Cruise honored Val at an event, asking for a moment of silence, showing how much Val's love for movies and his contributions meant to those who knew him. Oliver Stone, who directed Val in The Doors, and Alexander, praised his brilliance and called him a bold and fresh presence on screen. Stone also said Val was a troubled and passionate soul, but someone who brought energy and unity to every role. He believed the film world would miss Val's fearless spirit. John Densmore, the drummer of The Doors, was deeply impressed by Val's performance as Jim Morrison. He said Val's portrayal was so close to the real Jim that it gave him chills on set. Densmore thought Val deserved an Oscar nomination for that role. From all these stories, we see that Val Kilmer was never just one thing. He could be tough and demanding, but also kind, thoughtful, and deeply talented. His presence on set was unforgettable, and his impact on the people he worked with was very real. Some found him hard to work with, while others found a caring friend and mentor in him. In the end, Val Kilmer was a man full of contradictions, and that's what made him so interesting. His passion for acting and art, mixed with his sometimes complicated personality, created a legacy that will continue to inspire. Whether people saw him as difficult or sweet, Val's mark on the movie world and those who knew him is clear. His story reminds us that behind every great artist is a real person, with strengths and flaws, struggles and kindness, all woven together in a life worth remembering. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.